Time to play some Shadow of the Colossus offline and no internet. Let's go ahead and pick it now. What? What do you mean? I have to be signed in after 30... What? I don't have internet. I just buy my games digitally and why would I need to be signed in to play a single player game like Shadow of the Colossus that I bought 5 years ago? Sony! There's no... Oh, you guys really messed up this time.
Look, Sony, I've been a fan of you for some time now, right? I've owned several of your consoles from the PlayStation 2, 3, 4, the Pro, the Portal. I mean, hell, I even carry this thing from time to time. The Vita. And let me tell you, you need to make a Vita 2. Please make a Vita 2. The Portal is nothing compared to this. But anyways, that's not what we're here. We're here about, well, one main thing. But really, Sony, why are you screwing your customers? All right, let's start with that. First off, why is the Pro $900 with no disk drive and no vertical stand? Why? Why? Could you at least throw in a disk drive if you're charging me $900 to screw me with no Vaseline? Please? Please? I would like a disk drive at minimum. Please. It's not too hard to ask. You did it with the launch console. It didn't cost you that much more, did it? Okay. That's probably my biggest gripe, is that you raise this shit up to $900 and you don't even give me a disk drive or a stand. Please, you could have done that at bare minimum. Anyways, but that's not why we're here. Why am I here? Because of DRM, the three magical letters. DRM. Sony wants to implement their now 30-day check-in DRM policy, which means if you don't have internet within 30 days, you're fucked. Yeah, it's really like that. And it's sad because it's like, dude, Sony was the champion in 2012, 2013, 2014 when the PlayStation was coming out, the PS4 was coming out. They made a commercial ripping on Xbox saying, hey, guess what? You want to trade in your games without DRM? Here's a copy of the game. Give it to your friend. Oh, thanks. Like, dude, that one 30, 40-second commercial, however long it was, murdered the entire industry of Xbox just because of the DRM. I totally understand now that the DRM factor for Sony, there's no real massive competition. I mean, Xbox, hear me out. I like you guys a lot, but you don't have anything competing with Sony at the moment. Nintendo, I like you guys a lot, but there isn't anything that excites me. Really, there isn't. I'm not 12, you know. I like games that are fun, but I also don't like to play Mario every 5 seconds, okay? I don't want to play Pokemon every 5 seconds, okay? I don't want to play Zelda every 5 seconds, okay? I want to play a completely different game, which is why Sony comes in and fills up those needs. I'm furious now that I have to genuinely check in with Sony to play a single-player game that I bought off their website 5 years ago. That's a single-player game that doesn't even need internet access to even run, just to play my game. And you know what game I'm talking about? Shadow of the Colossus. Like, imagine you have Shadow of the Colossus, right? You bought it a long time ago. You were going to play it perfectly fine. You had no issues playing it whatsoever. Then next thing you know, next update happens, and then boom, you're hit with a 30-day DRM restriction, and then say, for example, you're gone for a month or something. Or, hey, you go and travel. Because some people like to do that, Sony. They don't stay at home all day and play. They go and travel for a month or two. Who knows? Something happens, you know? They have to come back, and then when they're about to play the same game that they left off to, oh, no, you have no internet connection. You're not allowed to play no more. Like, that is the most barbaric thing I've ever effing heard, okay? Again, I know there's some scenarios where it could be almost unrealistic. We're like, hey, how can you not have internet service? But it's like, dude, imagine going, like, on vacation, okay? You go somewhere to a different country, or you go to a cruise, or you go, like in my real experiences, you go to a hotel that has really, really crappy internet. And guess what? It doesn't really help or support your system because the internet's being shared by 500 other people. And I'm not paying $30 a month for premium service. F that. Like, you see what I'm saying? There is no point that Sony needs to implement internet DRM just so I can play Shadow of the Colossus that does not need any internet connection to play. It is Bullshit, Sony. You know that. And something else that people don't even mention, dude. What if you like physically bought the game? You have the disc, right? But you have no internet access, okay? Does that mean that I actually have to put in the disc, it plays the game, and guess what happens? It tells me, oh, since you have no internet access, you can't use the game no more. No one's talking. I don't think anyone's even talking about that. Like, that was what Xbox was literally trying to do. Even if you had the game in disc, you still needed internet connection to just verify. Oh, hey, that thing is your copy. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and play. Like, are you kidding me, Sony? I can't even I cannot even fathom that this is the future of what Sony's going to try to push forward. And again, I hope I'm completely wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I know all this is rumors, but this is leading like the top of the news of all news so far, that Sony is genuinely considering implementing DRM. Okay? It's going to be disastrous for them, and over time, it's just going to be a disaster in all of gaming. All right? You got to understand another thing, too. Imagine, again, if DRM is implemented, okay, and you have physical discs, and it locks your game to your account, okay, because it's now DRM locked, all right? And you bought these games a long time ago. Say you have a friend who just bought Pragmata. You don't have Pragmata. I don't have Pragmata yet. I'll be honest with you, I don't. But I'd like to. Say my friend has Pragmata. I'd like to borrow it for the weekend. Say, hey, can I play it for the weekend to see how it is, to physically try it, you know? Maybe I can consider buying it because I tried it, okay? You ever thought about that, Sony? No. Imagine I stick that disc in and it says, sorry, this disc is tied to your friend's account, so you can't fucking play it. Are you kidding me, Sony? Do you not understand that is also what DRM does? Like, that's what I'm also very concerned about, is that, say I have these games, physical games. I lend them out to some of my friends. Say, my friends, hey, I want to play this game, man. You know, you look like, I'm bored. I don't have a lot of money, but I know you have a lot of games. Can I just play this one for this weekend? Yeah, sure. You're my friend. Why not? That's usually what friends do. You know, you helped me out that one time. Here you go. Here's the time I help you out. No. Sony's saying F that. No more sharing your games with your friends, which is exactly the motto that seems to be the opposite it was when the PS4 came out. So, again, Sony, fuck off, dude. And another thing, again, Sony, this is Sony's console. This is Sony's ecosystem here. What if they start implementing their own version of DRM on, like, Fortnite or, you know, Rocket League or, you know, Warzone? I get it that those are like third-party companies. Those are their entity games and they're on their servers. But, hey, man, Sony can flip the switch on anything at this point. If they can turn my game that I bought 5 years ago all of a sudden and turn it into a DRM mess and then I have to check in every 30 minutes because they choose to, I am not surprised if Sony will find a way to monopolize and DRM even free games like that. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Sony, do you not remember your PS4 days when you said no DRM? You didn't care about DRM. You knew that you were for the gamers and the gamers were going to come to you when you provided good games and a good hardware at a decent price. Like, where is that Sony? Where is Sony of that time? The Sony of today is now seeing DRM, and want to be a DRM factory. Like, dude, I'll tell you this, the person who the thought minds of the PS4 are all turning in their graves right now, seeing that now the PS5 is pushing closer and closer to what the Xbox was trying to become in 2013. It is disgusting. So, what do you guys think? What's the future of Sony? Are they going to keep heading downhill? Are they going to keep being anti-consumer? Is DRM really in the horizon? Or are they going to finally look at themselves in the mirror and be like, holy shit, we're turning into something that we shouldn't be? Our former competitors who wanted to be DRM also. Like, you see what I mean? Like, will Sony actually wake the fuck up and say, hey, that's not who we are? I hope so. All right, guys, thank you very much. I do appreciate you guys making it this far. If you guys like the video, please like, follow, subscribe, share, do what you got to do. If you agree with me, comment down, tell me why. If you disagree, comment down, tell me why. I appreciate you guys making it this far again. I'll be making long-term reviews, and I'll be making Is It Worth It in 2026 videos as well. So stay on the lookout for that as well. This is, again, one of my very first long-term videos. So if you guys like it, please let me know. Tell me what I can improve on. I'm sure the budget production will definitely be improved on along the lines, but over time, that's going to happen. Until then, I do appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. And of course, stay gaming.